When it comes to parenting, psychologists say that there are 4 main styles. However, most parents tend to be split between the tough love approach and the permissive, oh, the kids will be kids attitude. And this is leading to a divide, resulting in one parent being more favourable with the children over the other. Firstly, we have to just send our sympathies to any single parent who's having to cover all of this. So let's just point that out firstly. But secondly, I certainly know that and because I'm with the children more, because like Frank's up north more, and I know we're back and forth and everything else, but when they see him, there's much more excitement, and it's like a godlike figure has walked into the house and Daddy! But he hasn't done the nappies all day and had to tell him, don't do that, don't do this. Although they always come back to Mummy, now, don't get me wrong, but I am definitely the one that has to say, no, say thank you, say please, and do the sort of... And you just... and then I have to start with the children are no bother.
Frank's manners are shocking.
But I understand there, and I think maybe you can flip between who is the authoritative one that day. You can switch roles sometimes, but generally it probably is one parent that takes on the please, the thank yous, don't do that much more than the other. And it's hard to get a balance sometimes because you want to be the fun one. But particularly when you are on your own, you have to do you have to tick all the boxes because they can't be climbing the Christmas tree every 2 seconds, which is what my little boy wants to do. So I have to tell him, don't do that. And you have to try your best to be a boss as well as be a mummy. And it's not easy.
I'm not very good at keeping to rules or anything. So
I bet you're the biggest softie, particularly with
I had a lot of
grandchildren.
mum guilt as well when, like, my kids were growing up, because I worked right the way through, even when I was pregnant twice with Louis and Bobby. I worked right the way through until I was 9 months, like, ready to give birth and everything. Or I was away a lot on location in different places and whatever, so Mark would do all the things, like... But a lot of the time I'd get home and the kids would be there and they'd had their bath and I'd go, what you had for dinner? Daddy ain't gave us anything to eat yet. I go, why don't you give him no dinner? It's like he's been looking after him all day, doing all fun things with him as well, taking to the park and everything, but you come home and you're tired and you just want everything to be all right and that. But my mum was really, really strict and my kids always abided by her rules. So when I was away, that my mum would look after them, or Mark would look after them, and then when I get back, she'd say to me after about a week, you've ruined them lovely kids. All them rules have gone out the window now. They're doing exactly what they want to do. And I'd bring them back presents as well because I'd feel guilty. There'd only be little things for, like, a day. If I was in America or somewhere, I'd get something American for every day that was away, like a little book or a colouring book.
Every day?
Yes, but only cheap things, but just something to show them where I'd been, so I could talk about where I'd been with them when I got home and that.
Oh, that's quite cute.
Yeah. So, I'm not very good at...
So you are a pushover?
I am a pushover,
She is now with the grandchildren. My mum was the... my mum did all the cooking and got us up for school and made sure we had the uniforms. And actually, my mum was the one that shouted a lot and chased you around with her... She used to have
there was hundreds of you, weren't there?
Yeah, hundreds of us. She had her own school, basically. But she used to have a bamboo cane.
The Nolan nursery.
And you'd hear it swishing around the room. But the thing is, with my mum, you'd run around kind of laughing because she was all mouth, really. But my dad was the one who... She'd go, I'm going to tell your dad, and then you'd go... And my dad, very rarely, he didn't raise his voice. He just used to stand in the doorway really quietly and just look at you. And you'd go, oh, I used to wet myself. Yeah, which was embarrassing at 20. But he was... Although he didn't chastise us a lot, he just had to look at us and you knew it was serious. But my mum was the shouter. And I think, like you, I'm a... It's hard to be both, but I think I err on the soft side rather than the disciplinary.
I definitely
Disciplinarian?
Disciplinarian.
Don't get me with big words.
Turn to Janet.
Turn to Janet. Speaking of brains.
My dad was a total authoritarian. We had a rule for everything. There were so many rules. I mean, consequently, I broke them all the minute I left home. When I was at school, I was really, really naughty. But my mother just fitted in with all the rules. So it was like he was the authoritarian boss in charge, and she was number 2, also in charge. So in your list of different kinds of parents, I'm not finding mine. I've got 2 authoritarian ones. Consequently, I went right off the rails.
Well, I was just going to say, so all of these rules actually made you go against...
I've heard that.
All rules.
Oh, yeah. Starting with, sitting at the table, you weren't allowed to speak till you finished the meal.
Elbows on the table?
Elbows, all the rules about eating, don't talk your mouth full. And then the hair, You can't go out with that hair. You dreaded it when they brushed your hair because they get the hair and yank it through.
My sister used to hit them on the head with a brush if they moved.
Yeah.
And then comb their hair. And then if they moved again, she'd hit them again.
Oh, God.
The good old days.
I had a primary school teacher who did that. If he did, that's why I didn't sing, and I'm not very good at singing. Because if you missed a note when you're standing like that trying to sing, she'd whack you with a ruler, and then you'd be yelping in pain. But, yeah, I mean, rules. I mean, I grew up with so many rules, I can't stand them now. I just give me a rule and I'm going to break it.
It's stuck with you for the rest of your life, isn't it? Like, you're still like that. You'll still find your way of finding the fun in amongst the rules.
Yeah, don't stand in queues, don't like rules, don't like fitting in.
Well, she doesn't find the fun in the rules. She just finds ways of breaking the rules.
Yeah, but that's not fun. That is the fun
and
for
the
you,
only
isn't it?
person I had to boss around was my sister, who's 2 years younger. So then I took over. I felt really sorry for my sister in my 20s and 30s because she grew up with bossy mum, bossy dad, bossy Janet. And I drew a line down the middle of the bedroom.
I don't like queuing because when I go to the post office where we live, he goes to me, your mate's been in again, come straight to the front of the queue.
Yeah.
Oh, you see?
It's because if I go to the front while they're looking for the parcel for the lady in the front, they can look at mine at the same time.
See, she finds a way around every single rule.